Hey everybody, how you doing? Thought I'm out for a walk today. So I'd show you the garden. Now it's all been trimmed. This is the next section to be dealt with. I'm working on the fencing panels at the minute, getting them sorted. But we're slowly but surely we're getting there. We're sorting things out. Right, so yesterday I had a particular comment on one of my videos. Not going to mention their name. If you want to go and find it, it was on yesterday's video. It's pinned to the top of the video, so you can go and find it if you want to go and see what was said. But this person made a passive-aggressive comment first off, saying that I should stop making YouTube videos, concentrate on finding work, and so I can put food on the table and clothes on my kids' backs. So with that being said, that's basically none of anybody else's business. It really isn't about that. I make YouTube videos for a specific reason. I go out for my walks for a specific reason. It helps with my anxiety because of my PTSD that I got in Iraq, and walking, making the videos helps with that. And my private life is nobody's business, really, apart from the people that I choose to include in that, really. The only reason I talked about the whole homeless situation that we were going through was to highlight the plight of British and mainly the white indigenous population that are literally thousands of people that are going through similar situation as I went through. So it's not about me moaning or complaining about my situation. I was just trying to highlight a situation that lots of other people are going through as well, and the very little help that you get. I mean, I've still got no carpets in my house. I haven't got a cooker. I haven't got a fridge freezer or anything like that. And I wouldn't complain about that normally, because that would be my responsibility to sort out. But the fact that we have people coming to this country that have not paid into the system, like I have and many other people have all their lives, and then they're getting their entire house furnished, carpeted, with all modern equipment and stuff, and yet I have to struggle and I have to apply for crisis grants that I might not get to make the house safe for my children, because it's not safe in there at the minute. There are nails in the floors, there are carpet staples everywhere. It's not safe for them, but they've got to live in there because there's nowhere else for us to go. We are basically put where we are put because we were homeless. That's my argument. And this guy was moaning and complaining, saying, "Oh, you're bullying refugees, you're bullying asylum seekers." No, I'm not. I'm just raising awareness that it's not a good idea to let undocumented people into this country who we don't know who they are. Point in case, the Iranian asylum seeker, illegal immigrant, who came into the country. Government paid his rent. Well, we paid his rent. The taxpayer gave him a house. What did he do? Plotting terror attacks all around the country. We had to send special forces in to arrest him. And these are the people that this individual thinks that are asylum seekers that were let into this country because they believe in open borders. They're making our streets less safe, and they're making our country less safe. Also, they can come on social media and come and have a go at people like me, so they can perceive themselves to have the moral high ground, when in reality they're on the wrong side of history. You didn't make yourself look very good in that comment. He also said that I was triggered because I responded to his comment on my own video, because he was making passive-aggressive comments himself. Wasn't triggered. I was giving you a reasoned response, and then you went on to say that because I was triggered, that was the reason why we lost the war in Afghanistan. I was never in Afghanistan. I was in Iraq, and I was doing private security. So you're wrong on all counts on that point. And the only reason really that we lost that war, because it was a war we were never supposed to win. It was another forever war by the globalists to keep the military industrial complex going. The soldiers didn't lose that war. The politicians did. The MPs did, that were constantly interfering, and eventually we had to pull out. That's what happened. A lot of my mates were out in Afghanistan, and yeah, unless you've been there, you shouldn't really speak about it, because you don't know why and how that war was lost, it wasn't because the soldiers, they fought hard and they paid the price on the ground with their lives. So anybody that comes to my video and disses soldiers and say, oh, they lost the war, it's like, well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. None of you people do. You know, you go on your little marches, you're waving your little Palestine flags and that sort of thing, and none of you have a fucking clue what is really going on in the Middle East. You don't have a clue. You go on there, you virtue signal, you repeat sound bites that you've heard off of your far left leaders, and then you think you know everything. You don't. You know, you've never been out there, you don't know what's going on. You've got no clue, absolutely no clue. If you saw what Hamas/ISIS did to the indigenous people of Iraq, then you wouldn't be carrying that flag around. You would be on my side. If you'd been to the villages where I've seen what Hamas/ISIS, and I call them Hamas/ISIS because they're all trained by the same people, they're all funded by the same people, the Iranian government. If you'd have been around the villages and seen what they did to the Iraqi children, what they did to the Iraqi women and the men that refused to join their cause, you wouldn't be flying that flag. You wouldn't. Entire villages massacred because they wouldn't convert to this particular extreme version of Islam. And you just haven't got a clue what the hell you're talking about, buddy. You really haven't. And to come to my video and try and criticise me just proves how arrogant and ignorant you actually are. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that. This is Vindicator. Sign off. I shall see you in the next video.